Yo, listen up, it's time for a tale about a podcast that'll leave you frail. Hard way wrestling coming at you raw, bringing the heat, breaking every law. They drop the truth, no holds barred, talking smack, getting you hyped up hard, calling out the fakes, exposing the lies. Hard way wrestling taken by surprise. Hard way wrestling coming to your city. Nothing but realness, nothing but grit. Going down a gauntlet, making them mark. Hard way wrestling, straight from the heart.
Oh, welcome to Hard Way Wrestling. Good morning, boys. It's Sunday morning.
Morning?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks
I know
for
you
not
want to
being
see
on the
more
pay-per-view,
Chris
Jericho.
Jericho.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Sunday morning, man. We are here to Sunday morning to talk about Full Gear. We all watched it together, and some of us didn't make it all the way through.
Scotty, what'd you call it?
Scotty is the
What'd you
one
call it,
who
Scotty? Out of gear?
out
Yeah.
of gear.
No,
Scott-
grinds my gears.
grinds your
Well,
gears.
that too.
Scotty dominated this this pay-per-view and watched it all the way through, man. I'm proud of you.
I don't know how I made it through. I mean, I like
It's
I
that
told
link I sent you.
Yeah. I told you guys before we got on here, like two of the matches, like I zoned out on them because I just like after a point I was just like, okay, I cannot keep focusing on this stuff. So I had to find something else to occupy myself to kind of keep my brain focused.
He was watching porn through his good eye.
Well, I mean, one thing we had talked about earlier this week, this felt to me like it was just a dynamite, just a normal dynamite that they would have every week.
It was a 4-hour dynamite.
Yeah, I would agree. It wasn't god awful. It wasn't god awful, but it wasn't the greatest either. Anyway, honestly, it started before, they had the pre-show that I thought started at 7, but it must not have. It must have started at like 6:30 because there was a match that I missed.
There was 2 matches on the pre-show. Oh, there's 3.
There
Yeah,
was 3.
it started at 7.
Yeah, there was 3, which I knew there was 3, but I kept watching it at the time, and I was like, well, this AJ match is going to go over time, and they're not going to be able to get the other. I originally thought there was supposed to be 4. There was supposed to be 4, and up until the AJ match, I'd only saw one other one. So I was thinking, well, I mean, how are they going to get these other 2 in? They're going to have to cut their time or whatever. But honestly, this thing, or what I come to find out that this thing started at like 6:30. Yeah, crazy. So we'll get into it here. 3 pre-show matches. Full Gear 0 hour. We had the Anna Jay and Deonna Purrazzo, which that was the one I missed.
Yeah,
Dante
same here.
Martin, Beast Mortos versus Komander versus Buddy Matthews. And then you had your big one, your big 0 hour, which they could have put this on the main card. It would have been better than some of the other matches.
Yeah.
Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall. Let's get right into it. This is the match that I missed. Anna Jay versus Deonna Purrazzo. You guys didn't get to see this either, I'm sure.
Mm-mm.
Anna Jay Anna Jay had a shoulder injury, and she overcame the shoulder injury. The Fujiwara armbar, Gesundheit, put on by Deonna Purrazzo. Anna Jay countered it, rolled her up, and got the victory. I was kind of surprised when I saw that Anna Jay beat Deonna Purrazzo. Is this a good direction for AEW to go into to put some of this younger talent over?
I love Anna Jay. Always loved her. Thought she was very underrated. Buried by her time in the Dark Order. I want to see her get a legit push at some point. Deonna Purrazzo, on the other hand, another very good talent that they don't know what the hell they're doing with.
Scotty, you didn't get to see this either?
No, I didn't actually get home till about 7:30, so I started watching right around I started watching right around the
Boom and QT.
Yeah, Boom and QT match. So
Gotcha.
I have no idea what happened, nor do I care.
I know you really care. I mean, I know you say that, but I know you care about women's wrestling. When else are you going to go to the bathroom? Right? When else are you going to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
So,
no, that was Mercedes Moné and Kris Statlander match.
Surprisingly, which wasn't a bad match, but we'll get into that when we get there.
That wasn't a bad match. Are you guys surprised that that there was one women's match on the pre-show and one on the main card? Does this just kind of goes to show you that AEW's, and I actually think AEW's women's division is not bad, right?
It's
you
not.
have the women's
talent.
Champion. Say it again.
They've got talent. Plenty of talent.
First, you have the women's champion that I don't even know. She just defended her title, but I think she's defended it maybe once or twice since she's won the title. And her big spot, and she could be injured. I don't know the backstory, but her big spot was on the show was a champagne celebration. So I don't know.
That was terrible, by the way, but we'll get into that when we get to that point.
That was absolutely god awful here. So Anna Jay gets the win here. Tyra Valkyria. Here's one part I saw in the highlights of Tyra hits Anna Jay with a spear on the outside of the ring in front of the ref, like dead in front of the ref.
Must have been. Was it Rick Knox?
No. It was one of those ROH.
Wow.
One of those ROH. Posey is his last name, I think. Let me see if I can.
Any relation to Dave?
I mean, the way he referees. Yeah, absolutely. Mike Posey. Not to be confused with Mike Posner. That's no longer with us, I think. So anyway, hits her with the spear in front of the referee. Only gets thrown out. Doesn't get a disqualification. That's a little strange. But that's why that guy is refereeing on the pre-show.
And ROH.
ROH. Well, yeah, he's behind a paywall. He's so bad you got to pay to see how bad he is. Our four-way Dante Martin versus Komander versus Buddy Matthews versus the Beast Mortos. Matthews wins by defeating I think he pinned Dante Martin in this. Buddy Matthews is so over.
He is. This match wasn't bad
Rhea
either.
Pop? Do you think it's because of Rhea?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That the crowd was they were chanting for him immediately when the show started. I actually thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
can we also mention one thing very quickly?
Yeah, knock yourself out. No, not literally. Don't.
The one thing that bothered me throughout the night, going back to the refereeing very quickly, all the refs. I mean, Mike Knox was in the first match. I don't know who was in some of these matches other than ref Aubrey Ed.
Edwards did a few.
But the thing that bothered me is the refs were annoying. Like there was the one ref, I can't remember which match it was, the really short bald ref. It wasn't Knox, it was another guy, but it was just like and I couldn't take my eyes off of him more than I was watching him more than I was watching the match because he just, I don't know, like the refs were really distracting in a lot of these matches, and I don't know why. I couldn't stop watching the refs.
Are you ref shaming?
Yes, I am.
Highway Wrestling?
Yes, they were horrible refs all through the night. It was just like I could not. I don't know. I just did not. That was another thing.
Where were they on a scale of Brandon Walker to Owen Hardy?
No, Brandon Walker and Owen Hardy are miles above any.
That's what I'm.
Yeah,
I don't even know if you put. How do you put these guys? Where's the bottom of that list? I mean, is
Cooper?
Okay, yeah, we'll put Cooper at the bottom. With the scale between Cooper and Brandon, where does he fall? He falls around the Owen area. So, anyway, Buddy Matthews wins this match. It just felt like this was a Buddy Matthews versus Mortos match. Komander was not really relevant. Of course, they do their high flying stuff. They're flying off the ropes. They're flipping and dipping, and Nobody broke their leg in this. Congratulations, Dante.
Yeah.
But it just felt like Dante Martin and Komander were just not even supposed to be in this match. This match was really against Mortos and Buddy Matthews, so they beat the shit out of each other. Buddy Matthews or Mortos came down to the ring. He looked like he had cuts on himself, like he was an emo. Like there was like cuts all over his body. So, and maybe it's something that's maybe he's scarred up from something else.
Real
I
glass.
hear he's a lawyer. Don't know what kind of clients he takes, but
Real glass.
real glass. Well, we might get some real glass later on in here. So, third pre-show match. We are going way too long in these pre-show matches. Third pre-show match. Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall. Now, I'm old. I am so old that I had no idea who these guys were. My TikTok algorithm is not like everyone else's, I believe. Mine has kittens and
Pornography.
kittens.
Oh,
and,
no, wait, that's X.
kittens and puppies. That's what my TikTok has. But did you guys know about this Big Boom AJ? No.
Never heard of him. Don't care to know him.
So supposedly, and Tony's real proud of this guy. This guy started in like January of this year and created this huge media, whatever, online media presence where he goes to Costco and he buys things and he tries things, and he's become the Costco guy, and him and his whole family are in this, and his son, I can't remember what his son's name is right now.
Was it
No.
Rizzler?
So the Rizzler is another character that's not related to these guys. He is
Sure.
just like, I guess
A
he's kidnapped.
YouTuber?
I guess they kidnapped him. Justice, Big Justice is that guy's name. The kid's name is Big Justice. So, but the whole family, so it's like a bunch of characters, stuff like that. But supposedly, Big Boom AJ was a professional wrestler a long time ago. I ain't gonna lie. Back in the day, he looked good. Like he was good, and he was still in good shape for this match. I was so surprised by seeing some of the stuff that went on in this match. Now it
Yeah.
started off with a bunch of chain wrestling. I was like, okay, I see where we're going with this. It's just gonna be a bunch of chain wrestlers. Next thing I know, we get a superplex off the top rope from AJ to QT. I was kind of shocked with some of these things, man. What'd you think of this match?
It wasn't bad. And again, comparing these pre-show matches to what I saw on the main card, like they could have put these on the main card to hype it up a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match wasn't bad actually.
Yeah.
It had its share of spots.
Sure. I was super surprised. Scotty, what did you think?
Yeah, and overall, I mean, good match for what it was. Nothing. I mean, like you said, good. Some interesting spots, stuff that I wasn't expecting, but
And there was no more BS.
Yeah, that's right. No more BS. Paul White was there. Big show.
The big
show
scoops.
on commentary. Didn't lay his hand on anybody. He was really awkwardly tight with the Riz.
yeah,
Kept holding his hand. I guess the Riz, I think, is like maybe 8 years old. If he's that. Like he's a young kid who constantly is doing this. And after a while, I actually thought it was a tick. He kept rubbing his face. He doing this. And like, I don't know. This guy gets more pussy than Scotty for sure. But like, I just
Some kid YouTuber thing.
yeah. Again, I don't know. I'm going to do a little bit more research on this. I watched the media scrum after this was over. Obviously, big Boom AJ. Bring the boom. He just got some boom cannons though on him. He does got some boom cannons on him. After I watched a media scrum this morning, and he says he wants to come back and do it again. And Tony was super hype on it. Now, I know you're going to shit all over this, Scotty, but this guy has such a following. Like, there's more followers that follow this guy than AEW.
yeah,
100%. Remember what I said the other day about the Swifties?
yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what this is. This is the Swiftie effect. That's what I call it. So, can you imagine if Jonathan Cross, they got the Cross effect?
Oh God,
I can't even imagine.
The ratings would be so far in the toilet you couldn't even measure them.
Wow, you couldn't flush me with no water anyway. So anyway, Big Boom AJ wins this match, and deservingly so. QT's great shape, by the way. QT looked good.
Yeah, and he actually wrestled pretty good too, which is kind of shocking. Like over the last couple of years, he hasn't really had good matches, and then this kind of came out of nowhere for him, where it was like, all right. I mean, again, not a perfect match, not but a good match for what him and Big Boom pulled out. So I was like, all right.
I actually disagree with you. I think QT Marshall is a decent wrestler.
Yeah, he's just there for enhancement talent and to put people over.
Well, he's a trainer, right? He runs. I believe he still runs a Nightmare Factory, or he's part of the Nightmare Factory. He's a trainer. I think when he had been let go, and maybe got one indie booking and realized this ain't for me, Daddy. Get back on the porch. He came back, and I believe he's a lot of backstage stuff. But yeah, if you're gonna put a guy in the ring with a guy who's not a wrestler anymore or doesn't wrestle anymore, I believe they had the right pick here with QT Marshall, because he made AJ look good. So
yep.
And the Rizzler, by the way, looked good. We had our AEW Tag Team Championship 4-way Private Party, Kings of the Black Throne, the Outrunners, and the Acclaimed. There was no shock to any of us that Private Party was going to retain here.
They just won those tag titles over the Jacksons, the Young Bucks, a few weeks ago?
Yes. Yeah, they didn't work that hard to be transitional champions. So
no.
What'd you guys think of this match?
It was just a spot fest, more or less. Like, I don't know why they make it like these tag rules things where it's just two in the ring, because after about 5 minutes, it turns into all 8 just in a complete melee of just doing spots.
Yeah.
Brody and Malachi looked amazing. The Acclaimed are starting to look like the New Day with the
breakup.
Yeah, they're teasing this breakup, and it's like, you know what? Like, if you're gonna break them up already. Like, they've been over since about a year and a half ago. So just break them up, send them on their own singles course. We don't need all this drama to get us interested in them, because we don't care anymore. Like,
neither one of them will be worth a damn on their own, I don't think.
Yeah, sadly enough. But I mean, they're teasing the breakup. They're going to do the breakup. They're going to put them on their own. I'm assuming. See, the thing is that Caster is an okay wrestler, but Bowens is the more athletic of the two of them. So I see Bowens more being the if anyone's the more breakout star, it'll be Bowens. That, quite frankly, even though the only thing he sucks on is not having a good promo.
Easy.
I wasn't going there.
Do you think one of them ends up with the Hurt Business?
Well, Caster was the one that got the business card, so that's what everybody's assuming, is he's going with the Hurt Business.
Yeah. Now, I mean, again, this is the 4-way match. 4-way matches are very difficult to run or be in. So it was going to be very controlled. Lots of spots, lots of talking, that kind of stuff. This did absolutely continue the story with the Acclaimed and the possible breakup. It started out that way, where after Caster did his rap, he launched
a missile,
the fucking microphone right into Bowens' chest, and missed him, by the way. So
yeah,
obviously Bowens is the baseball player.
He's not the catcher.
Isn't he? That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Moving on. So I mean, honestly, that to me is the only reason to have this match. Not the only reason, but the big thing that came out of this match was a continuation of the possible breakup of the Acclaimed. Because honestly, I don't care how many times you say it. Not everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Not. I don't watch a lot of Rampage or Collision just because it's Rampage and Collision. Not a lot of people do, but that was like my really first good look at the Outrunners.
Yeah.
Oh, that was okay. Good. Yeah,
Yeah.
what'd you think of them? A nice little '80s throwback.
It was like watching two Brian Hardys on a bender,
Wasn't it?
kinda. Like
No,
they
it was like watching Shane Douglas and John Laurinaitis as the surfer dudes from God, what was it? What was their team name? Damn it, I can't remember.
No
now.
idea. Anyway,
Yeah, I was
yes.
laughing at your thing about Brian, the back of the one's head.
Oh
looked
yeah,
like
snap
Brian
the
Hardy.
picture of Brian's head. Brian back in the picture of one of the Turbo's head.
Yeah.
Of course, I sent it in the chat, the Hardy chat, and I get
The
Brian
one,
goes, I miss my hair.
the one was called Turbo. What was the other one?
I can't remember.
Like I thought I was watching the American Gladiators.
They were
Yeah.
so tan and buff. I loved it. I love it. I like those guys. They're over. They're so over.
Yeah.
I hear Matt Cardona all the time saying about he wishes he would have went ahead and signed them for the big rubber guys line because I tell you what, definitely would get me to buy them for sure because they're awesome. They're awesome. So, but they're not awesome enough to beat Private Party. So Private Party retains here. First match, our next match, Roderick Strong versus MJF. This match was surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be, to a point. Now, this is a typical. All right. So I know MJF is MJF. He's his best part of MJF is not his wrestling. He is a good wrestler. His best part of MJF is when he runs his mouth and he cuts people up. But this was a typical MJF style match. I think he's a better wrestler when I make this comparison, but is a similar match in a lot of ways. The Miz, right? It's a lot of things are very safe. I mean, he does hit some spots, mostly on the other guy. I'm not sure how many times MJF takes any like really bad, gnarly bumps. Like gnarly bumps. We've seen him do some stuff, but it's just a very typical match from him. Honestly, I wasn't too impressed.
Was it this match or was it another match that I'm thinking of? I can't remember. Where I think it was this match where Roddy had him up the tombstone, jumped off the ring apron, and tombstoned him onto the stairs.
No, that was Fletcher and Ospreay.
Yeah, that was Fletcher and Ospreay.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Fletcher and Ospreay.
We'll get to those two. We're not going crazy people here in a minute, but yeah. So anyway, none of us believe.
You mean probably about 45 minutes?
What's that?
You mean about 45 minutes?
Oh, is that what it'll be?
We've been on here for what 15 minutes, and we're only 2 matches in now on the main card.
We covered 3. We've covered 5. We've covered 5, man. 3 of the most important ones, counting AJ. Anyway, no one thought that MJF was going to lose this match. No. It looks like that the big part coming out of this was the story afterward, with Adam Cole coming down late. By the way,
yeah, after Owen Hardy got his arm broken again.
Yeah,
I mean, not Owen Hardy.
Owen Hardy. I feel you. They look the same. Roddy.
Yeah,
Roddy. They all make it down to the ring. What's the what are the Kings called? What are they called?
Undisputed Kingdom.
Undisputed Kingdom. They make it down.
Kyle
like O'Reilly is pissed at MJF or pissed at Adam Cole. Blames Adam Cole for him getting for Roddy getting his hand smashed in the chair. So that's where we're continuing that story. I don't know if are we turning Adam Cole heel eventually here?
Who knows with them? I'm telling you, if the only thing saving this from making me wonder if they stole this from ATCW was if Adam Cole would have came down and covered up Roddy Strong for a chair shot from MJF, then I'd have been like, you know what? They stole this. Somebody was watching ATCW.
We do write the best shows. So MJF wins here. Roddy gets his hand smashed in the chair. And yeah, I actually, when he put the chair on his on his arm. I thought for sure we were going to get Edge's music
Oh,
for
Yeah.
like the concerto or whatever, and but we didn't. We didn't. We got the next best thing. No one. Okay. I thought we were gonna
Adam
undisputed
Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby, who is by the way, whose tan is getting better.
Yeah, day late and dollar short. I guess his ankle wasn't ready for that kind of sprint again.
Actually, actually, that's what I made in this match. MJF's tan was horrific.
yeah.
I don't know. His nose was like super dark. I thought it was if he'd put glasses on, he'd have been Humpty. His nose was super dark. And I noticed the beginning of this pay-per-view, and I don't the last couple matches I couldn't tell you. It felt like no one did their hair. All their hair was puffy.
Yeah. MJF's hair looked out of freaking control.
Disheveled.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looked like he just rolled out of bed, which he might have.
Hey, just like us, MJF is allowed to have a bad hair day.
That's I couldn't tell you last time I had a bad hair day.
When I had to take my hat off at ATCW for the anthem, I had hat hair.
Oh, you mean the hat? Your hair was in your hat.
It could have been that too.
Okay,
There's not much of it.
You were standing beside Gilbert. They had no idea who was who.
He cracked up though when I said that.
Is that what you said to him?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right, we have the TBS Championship match: Kris Statlander versus Mercedes Moné. Scotty, tell us something good about Mercedes Moné.
There's not much. Like, you guys think this was an okay match, and again, Kris Statlander looked good in this match.
Statlander carried her all the way in this.
But the thing that bothered me was the multiple kickouts of everything went way too long. Like
every match,
false finishes.
Every match had false finishes.
Protect the finish.
Yes, but in my view, this match was the most egregious out of all of them because it was just like, every 5 seconds, big move, kick out. I'm like, really? Like, towards the end of the match, I'm just like, I really wish I had fast forward on this thing. I could have just,
Scotty, bathroom break match of the night.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, I mean, I watched it all the way through, sadly enough, but it was just, and the other thing that bothered me was Mercedes screaming. Like, every time she threw a temper tantrum, I like plugging my ears. I'm like, really? Like, stop. Like, just, I'm done.
It made your one eye go straight, didn't it?
Exactly. So
Statlander looked amazing in this match.
Great, but
she was freaking amazing, and like I feel like she carried Mercedes. The finish I hated that finish where it looked like she was. What did she do? Some reversal into the rope and then a roll up.
Yeah. Yep.
Like terrible finish. After all they did, I don't know. I would have rather seen her put her back in the bank statement and keep her from the ropes and have her just fade out. Not tap out, just pass out.
Well, I'm going the opposite way. I thought this was one of Mercedes Moné's best showings. I think she carried the match. I think Kris Statlander was slow. She was slower. She could not keep up the pace. That's why there was a lot of resting, it felt like at times. I just think Mercedes Moné really carried this match with Statlander. And I like Kris Statlander. I just think she was very slow. That's what I feel. I feel like Mercedes Moné really showed how much better of a professional wrestler she is than a lot of these women. Now, Kris Statlander is super powerful, super strong, should not look like she's going to collapse, even though she's had some knee injuries. Mercedes Moné is 110 pounds. We're not selling that she's Bundy, right? When you put her up on your shoulder, we're not selling that she's Bundy. There was a lot of that, which to me didn't make a lot of sense. So I just felt like Mercedes Moné carried this match. Yeah. And I'm not a Moné fan. So
I don't know.
yeah,
She
I
was
could be
working.
wrong.
She was working the knee the entire match. So that's what
Yeah,
it
but still,
was.
she's
Statlander was
110
favoring.
pounds.
Hey,
With
doesn't matter.
with one of Kris Statler's legs, she should have been able to squat her.
Yeah, but Statlander had blown both ACLs in a matter of 2 years.
Are you looking at the same athlete that we were looking at that we looked at 2 years ago?
No,
She's put on some size.
she has. She looked
Yeah,
good.
she's definitely squared off a little bit here.
So, did anybody else notice when the hard camera like panned back a little bit that the first couple rows of the seats in the front were like empty?
Empty. Yeah, and we'll get to that.
Were they in the bathroom or getting beers?
Probably.
Or did care about the match? Did they find Danhausen somewhere in the arena?
Yeah. So she hurt her knee or whatever during that 450 splash. That's what kind of led to everything else. But still, I think again, my opinion, I think Moné, this was one of her best outings. Now, the screaming, I could do without. You can only throw so many temper tantrums every time they kick out of your move. I was really surprised they buried the backstabber. 2 backstabbers, 3 backstabbers, still couldn't hold her down. I don't know.
How long before you think Camille turns on her? Did you see it during the pre-show?
It looked like she was getting ready to turn on her in the back.
In the pre-show?
Pre-show, yeah. So
she told her
I
to
imagine
stay
it's
back.
coming. I imagine it's coming. I don't know that we want to put her in a program because that seems to be AEW's thing. Whoever is with you turns on you, and you automatically in a program with them. And if you're in a program with Mercedes Moné, which I read some stuff online yesterday that Mercedes and Tony Khan are dating.
No, there can't.
Read that.
Well, Mercedes just got divorced.
Wow.
Like months ago.
I don't know. There was a different attitude during that media scrum from Tony when Mercedes was sitting beside him. Maybe a little Tony Khan chubby there. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway,
how long before he starts shitting on her head?
Not soon enough. Not soon enough. But the temper tantrum is definitely out of control. I thought that was too much. They buried the backstabber. And again, we're gonna go back to if Camille does turn on her, it seems to be AEW's thing where they just take somebody and they take the person who just turned and put them into the match with the person they turned on. Well, is Camille going to beat Mercedes for that? That would be the only one I could see that would beat her, so she could go to the next level. So she could go after that women's title, which immediately turns whoever the women's title holding the women's title face, because the world hates Mercedes Moné. So.
Yes, we do.
But do we get a program with Camille? And
it's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming. It's the Shawn Michaels Diesel thing.
Yeah.
Who won that?
Unfortunately, I think Diesel did.
Did Diesel win that?
For
Shawn
a while.
Wasn't holding a title, right?
I think one.
Diesel beat for the belt, if I remember right.
I think one time, yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay. Well, anyway, I'm good with it as long as they put that belt
Camille
on Camille.
over.
I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good with that. So, Switchblade Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. This was the match I absolutely did not care about. Still don't care about.
It wasn't as good as the one from Wrestle Dream.
True.
Like I felt like every time I looked away from the screen and looked back, Hangman had him in an ankle lock.
Jay White wins this match. I really don't know what they're doing with Hangman.
Especially what happens at the end of the
Yes.
match. Yeah, you guys are gonna have to fill me in on that. I saw some highlights of that. But I don't know what they're doing with Hangman. I really don't. And Jay White, I was just thinking, I was like, this guy was like the biggest thing in New Japan a year ago. He was an IWGP heavyweight champion forever. Like he was the man, and he just looks, I don't know. I don't know. It's like when the guy from AEW goes to WWE, they look just pedestrian,
Yeah.
right? It's like, all right, here's another job guy. But Switchblade doesn't impress me since he's been here. And no Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
The hell?
And here's I think a better description. It's like in the 90s when all the WWE guys went to WCW and just kind of now not all of them, some of them looked in at the beginning, like that's what Jay White and a lot of these guys coming over from New Japan look like. Major stars, and then they just kind of went to in the next company down. So
the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Yep.
At the end of this match, Jay White was walking up the ramp, and Hangman followed him to attack him. Did he attack him? I can't remember if he put his hands on it or not.
Yeah, he attacked him, and
and then he just walked away.
Yeah, Christopher Daniels. No,
Oh
Christopher
yeah,
Daniels
that's
got
right.
in between
Yeah,
them.
that's right. And he decks Daniels.
Yeah, and he nails Daniels. So are we gonna get Hangman off the schneid here by putting him in a match with the Fallen Angel?
I hope not.
God, I hope not too. But
yeah,
Rampage, here it comes.
That'd be a good Rampage match.
So,
I'll give you that.
Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher.
In my opinion, I think this was match of the night.
Match of the night. Yep, agree. Totally agree. Scotty, no. Scotty, not match of the night.
It was
Scotty. Was it hard to find a match of the night?
I'm big fan of any of
Scotty's match of the night was where he lit the candle in his bathroom after the women's match.
This match was a very good win for Kyle Fletcher. It was a clean win. Callis did not leave the announce table during this one to interfere in any sort of way. A lot of spots. Again, protect the finish, because I mean, how many hidden blades did Fletcher eat during this match? And there were a couple really good ones where he was laid the fuck out, kicked out immediately.
Yeah.
But the tombstone on the steps looked really good.
That had me.
That was a scary spot.
Yeah.
That because I'm watching. I'm like, first of all, that's a hospitalization angle right there. Like, and one wrong move, and I mean, again, we've seen now. The Owen Hart one was a sit out and not a knees bent tombstone. But even so, even with a knees bent tombstone, you're jumping off the ring apron, landing on the steel stairs, and you have very small room to land on that top step. And as you saw, Ospreay's body supported as he rolled down the stairs, which did not look comfortable either. So yeah, like one wrong move and you're heading the wrong place, and that's broken neck for sure. So yeah,
which it will happen eventually. I'm telling you, somebody's destined for being paralyzed or dying during an AEW show with the shit that they do.
So
I don't want to see it, but just look at the shit that they do almost every night.
So I that was the one spot that really was like, oh shit. Like there was spot tests and there was stuff that was like, okay, like throughout the night it was like, okay, that that could be a broken leg, that could be this, but I saw that and I was like, again, if you know how to do a tombstone right, you can do it. But going off that ring apron onto the steps was like, ooh, I wouldn't take that.
And these guys have been together their entire careers pretty much. So, I mean, the two of them working together was probably like even the dangerous spots they probably had nailed down pretty good.
Right.
But,
well, again, a lot of great spots in this match.
Love the finish with the avalanche brainbuster on the turnbuckle.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. Did the right guy win here?
Yes. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Well, Ospreay's been kind of like losing a lot of his matches lately, I feel like, but Kyle Fletcher did need this win to put his name up there some more, considering he's been pretty much a lifelong tag team guy. Yeah, I think he's going to take out his old tag partner next.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to come, and then we'll figure out where we're going with that guy.
But that's kind of a step down. He just beat Ospreay. Now he's going to take out his old tag team partner. Like, you just beat the biggest guy in the company. Now you take a step down and beat your old tag team partner. Like,
Well, I mean, biggest by your standards. He's not the biggest guy in the company because he doesn't own a title. Hey, he's
but
not a world champion, or
he's not a world champion, but he's the biggest.
He's getting a pretty good push right now.
Yeah, he's got the.
For Kyle Fletcher to win that match, that's the biggest match of his career.
Yeah,
for sure. But that's the problem with doing big matches. The next match, right? It's always the next match anyway, right? No matter what you do, is it a step down? I would say it's a step down if this is a pay-per-view match. If you're going to do it like you're just going to put Kyle Fletcher out there and let him smash him on a Collision or a Dynamite or something like that.
Yeah.
That's, that's okay. That's fine. But big match.
No.
Please don't put this on. Please do not curtain jerk or do the pre-show match with Kyle Fletcher after just having such a big win over Will.
Yeah, there will be another Ospreay Fletcher match down the road. I don't know what's their next pay per views. World's End, I think, at the end of the year.
Yeah, so they got World's End. Yes, that's the next one. World's End.
Probably around New Year's.
It is though. So is it Death Before Dishonor? What's the
ROH?
Oh, Final Battle. So ROH that'll be the last, like right at the end, towards the end of the year. So, and then I know AEW's got one more coming up. So, anyway, we have our champagne ceremony. Mina Shirakawa. Now I'm gonna say this, right?
Me love for a long time.
Most sexist thing ever. Does she got the best breasts?
I'll tell you what. If one of us would have motorboated her last night, our heads would have came out looking like a disco ball with all that glitter she had on. And
she might have the most natural puppies in the business.
You think that's all natural?
Me love for a long time.
Well, if you watched Harley Cameron and her do their little shakes the other day, yes. Absolutely. When she stopped moving, they did not. Harley Cameron's only moved the same distance as her shoulders moved.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, you can fast forward that if you don't like woman talk. I thought everything was good here. Mina referred to AEW Women's Champion as the love of her life. And starting this Saturday's champagne celebration, by the end, she stood over the fallen body of her former friend, screaming out of pure rage and shocking betrayal. I actually thought this was a nice little, like Mariah May swung the champagne bottle out of her. Then Mina does this like roundhouse kick and boots it out of her hand.
I called the turn, like
more screaming.
Yeah.
Scotty, I know you love that. Yeah, more screaming. So
it looked like one of them like vampire fan films, like by the end of it, with the blood running down her face and everything.
Face. What this happens? This has been happening in WWE also. Why are they now putting blood in their eyes coming out? Like that's traumatic brain injury. If you have blood coming out of your eyes, what is wrong with them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody get with a horror actor or something, a horror director, and help them fix that. Somebody call one of the Wyatt family to fix that. Anyway,
no, if it was the Wyatt family, there'd be more blood running out of the eyes.
Mina did look like someone from the Vampire Diaries.
Anyway, still love for a long time.
All right, so after that, I said to myself, I hate wrestling. And I'm not watching anymore. No, actually, I've been up for 17 hours or whatever. I was beat. So I went to bed. But we did have the match. The show did not stop because I went to sleep. TNT Championship match. Daniel Garcia, Jack Perry, Ricky. Tell us about this match.
It wasn't very good. It was quiet the whole match. I really couldn't get into it. It started with the whole Jack Perry run out of the ring, and then every time Garcia ran out, he would run back in. It was a few minutes of that. Jack Perry at times seemed unhinged, like he tried to bring the title belt in and have Garcia hit him to get himself disqualified, but what he wouldn't. He handed the belt to, I believe, Rick Knox, and when his back was turned, Perry hits him in the nuts. Does not work. Garcia kicks out. Garcia ends up putting him in a sharpshooter for the win. Garcia was also, he went full on Bob Backlund at one part of the match. Like he was like hawking up, and it looked really weird.
Ugh.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really into the match. The crowd, I don't think, gave two squirts about it. But
From what I read, the crowd was kind of dead with this story anyway.
Yeah.
and our only and new champ of the night.
Nobody cares about Daniel Garcia. Nobody cares about Jack Perry. What, like, putting these two together is death.
And he didn't even dance when he won the title.
Well, his celebration was cut short, right? Did it to cut his celebration short? So, I'm sure if this ended the show, he'd have done his dance. But I believe he had to get out of there for the next match, which was
Takeshita and
I saw the highlights of this match.
Yeah.
Again, all this could have been a Dynamite. It really could have.
Really could have.
AEW International Champion, Ricochet versus the champion, Konosuke Takeshita.
Almost the Intercontinental champion.
No, not the Intercontinental. Scotty, what'd you think of this match? Is Ricochet over, or is he over?
He is definitely over. Like his bubble burst as soon as he walked through the curtain at AEW, in my view. No, like the match was, again, like you said, it's typical Dynamite. Like it's not something that you needed on you. Like the parts that I watched, like I said, I zoned out through some of this because, again, it was just like, I've seen this before.
It's a very slow start.
Very slow start. Nothing really, I mean, they did kick some stuff into high gear towards the middle and the end of it, but even then it was not, it was kind of Don Callis came to ringside. Like, I think if I remember right, he was on commentary and then left commentary. He actually tried to kind of get involved in this match. I was waiting for the screwdriver to come out. I was like, okay, he's got to stab somebody at this point with a screwdriver. Never did happen, but it was just, I mean, the
highlight of the match was the crowd screaming, "Fuck off, Callis."
Yeah.
How was that Avalanche Falcon Arrow that Takeshita put on?
It looked good.
Yeah.
Looked good. Yeah.
Yeah,
like I said, it was a slow start to the match. It did pick up a bit later on. The whole angle was they were working Ricochet's back.
Yeah.
So he was very limited with his high flying at first. But yeah, it was a typical Dynamite match.
I'm you guys surprised as I am that Ricochet comes to the company, big star coming out of WWE, right? He was a big thing, right? They couldn't figure out what to do with him in WWE, so they threw Speed Titan on him real quick. But
Literally.
going to
And then
AEW,
they ran him out just as quick.
What's that?
And then they ran him out just as quick.
Well,
he wanted to go anyway, so
yeah, he wanted to get out of there. As big as he is, are you surprised that they haven't pushed him to the moon?
No, because Tony doesn't know what to do with talent.
Yeah, exactly.
He brings somebody in, but because here's the thing. When I say AEW's got all these stars, they're all of AEW stars, but there's all these different people. You have the Takeshitas, you have the MJFs, you have the Will Ospreays, you have the now the Bobby Lashleys and the Swerve Stricklands and all these different guys, and of varying size, varying heights, varying muscles, whatever, but you have all these different stars. But because you have all these different stars, you cannot focus as much attention on one guy versus another guy, because you have, even with Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, and the pay-per-views and the Battle of the Belts, there's still not enough time to focus on all this stuff. Hence why, which I still don't necessarily agree with, but it makes sense to understand that why WWE went to Raw being one storyline, SmackDown being the other, because then you could take all these people, separate them, and create stars that way. So that's why, like, Ricochet, he comes in, he's a big name off of WWE, but doesn't, they don't have enough time to focus on individual Ricochet story because they've got all this stuff going on with everybody else as well. So yeah, no, they don't have time to push him to the moon at this point.
Should Takeshita won this, or Ricochet should have beat Takeshita here, you think?
No.
Because Takeshita's
it's too soon. He just won that belt as well.
Yeah, and Takeshita right now, sadly enough, is the bigger star. He's the homegrown star that's getting over. Ricochet has a name. Ricochet losing doesn't necessarily. It doesn't
hurt him.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt him. It does. I mean, it does hurt him slightly, but it's not like anything he can't recover from.
Yeah, because it's not like the ranking system means anything.
Yeah. So
they can just have a casino battle royal and he can just win a number one title shot that way.
Yep.
Like everybody else has.
All right, 2 more matches. Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby just coming into the company. Swerve just coming off of losing the world title to Bryan Danielson. So from what I'm reading, and I didn't see, as you could tell me,
this match,
crowd pop for Bobby?
Very little.
Yeah.
This match looked like it was going to be a squash match from the get-go, but it was more or less Bobby just toying with him. Swerve would get some offensive moves in, and then there was one where Swerve comes off the rope, and I don't know if Shelly B was supposed to trip him. It looked like he just slapped his ankles a couple times, and he gets ejected. And then after that, Swerve starts getting some offense in, and this match starts to get a little bit better. But ultimately, Lashley would put him out with the hurt lock. There was a real good spot on the outside during this match where Swerve would run along the outside, run up the steps, and Swerve stomp Lashley through the announce table. It was a very good spot.
I've completely missed that.
Yeah, that was towards the end of the match, I believe. But yeah, it was a very good spot. It looked really good. But yeah, we knew Lashley had to win this match. There was no point in him just coming in looking like this monster that's bigger than 95% of the AEW roster. There was no reason for him to lose this. I just feel sorry for Swerve right now. It's like this guy carried your company last year after he won the AEW world title, or this year, I should say.
Did he though?
I mean, he was very much over for the reign he had. I mean, he's still over.
Was he over, or is Prince Nana over?
A little bit both. Who?
Okay.
Who?
Prince. Oh. I forgot to dance. Put my ass crack out.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley gets the hurt lock on, and referee stoppage. Swerve Strickland loses again. He loses again. So.
And then he put Nana in the hurt lock, and Nana
again. This is the third time now that Nana's tried to protect Swerve, which would tell you that Swerve can't protect himself. Your
Nana had a belt on, and he still couldn't protect his waistline from showing his ass crack.
Is that what happened? I missed that.
Yeah, when he got put in the hurt lock, I was like, no, don't switch it. Butt crack again.
Butthole. Yeah, this is like the third time that they've beat up Prince Nana. Prince Nana did say that he was a wrestler, so at what point are we going to get Prince Nana to put a foot up someone's ass?
Do you think we'll get Swerve or not Swerve? MVP versus Prince Nana?
Yeah, it'll be a cup of coffee on a pole match.
That would be very disappointing for Nana because MVP would absolutely rip him to pieces.
My God, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
MVP might be the toughest guy in that group. Anyway, AEW World Championship match. Orange Cassidy, Scotty's boy versus John Moxley. I don't think any of us thought that John. I'd have to go back and look at the paper. I don't think any of us thought that John Moxley was losing this match. I know I didn't.
Orange comes right out of the gates with, I believe, 3 orange punches. Like before the belly, I think the Dapper Yapper was still in the middle of announcing John Moxley for the title match.
Should he have hit Justin Roberts?
Yes. Please, just knock out Justin Roberts, break his jaw, so we never have to hear that voice again. Please.
And then insert Samantha Irvin.
Ooh. She could do Collision. Anyway, Ricky, what did you think of this match?
It was everything I thought it was going to be with a Moxley match. There was a whole bunch of outside work. Almost appeared like it was a no DQ match. They were in the crowd. Orange was busted open. He took a curb stomp on the steps. He took a Death Rider on the steps. He was bleeding, biting. Moxley bit his bloody face. They were on the tables, barricades.
Moxley does love to use the furniture.
They were scratching each other's backs open.
Yeah, I did see that. It was like
that was
pretty gnarly.
I don't think Moxley bled, which is surprising. I think all that was just on Orange. And then there was at one point where, like, on the outside, Moxley had like a handful of Orange's blood. He grabs Marina Shafir's hand, and she's just like, eh.
Yeah. He bled by proxy because it was all Orange's blood on his face. Like I was watching that, I'm like, I literally was waiting. I was like, okay,
if I'm not gonna bleed, you're gonna bleed with me for me.
I think they just declared that the hepatitis AEW. But Orange he was just taking the ass whooping, encouraging more ass whipping throughout the match. But yeah, as everybody expected, Moxley was going to win. I almost thought I was watching a Brock Lesnar match at one point because I think Orange just kept hitting him with orange punches.
Yeah,
like,
he was no
hit about 6 or 7 of them. Yeah.
Good. Powered up Moxley. All right. So after this match, none of this match didn't even matter, right?
Yeah. It's all hell just broke loose to making absolute no sense as the rest of the Death Riders came out, and then you got the conglomeration came out, and then here comes Hangman Page down to the ring with a chair.
Who did he hit with a chair?
I don't forget who the hell he hit because he
hit Mox with the chair. Because
I can't even remember because then all I remember was Christian gave Moxley the kill switch, and then Hangman was holding the contract, and he was getting ready to. He told Hangman, "You'll get your shot. You'll get your shot. Give me the contract." And he's getting ready to hand it to the ref. Switchblade comes out, and Switchblade, I think, puts Christian in the what does he call that? The Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. And
then like that all started breaking out into a big melee. And then our girl came back. Willow,
biggest pop of the night, Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, she came back and went after Marina Shafir. So then the Death Riders are hauling ass out of there with briefcase in hand, and they're going back through the backstage area towards their truck. And Darby Allin looked like his version of the scapegoat taxi cab came slamming into this truck, and the Death Riders steal a SUV and haul ass out of there while Darby gets out with a skateboard, climbs the truck, and he must have busted himself open in the process and starts
he was bleeding.
beating the real glass with a skateboard.
Yeah. What did any of this mean?
Absolutely nothing to me.
It had no meaning whatsoever. Like, I was hoping.
I was hoping Christian cashed in and won the belt.
I was hoping Christian was going to cash in, win the belt, and then like it would change the face of everything in the company, and it would be, there would be something, because now Moxley would be after him, Darby would be after him, Orange would be after him for a rematch because he wants that title. So it'd be like, all right, let's see what they can do with this. That actually would have made me more interested in the title picture. But when Jay White comes out and the announcers are screaming, Christian put Jay White out for a year, yada yada. This is Jay White's revenge and all this kind of like. Okay, I didn't know that, nor do I care. Like Jay White had no reason to be out there. Hangman had no. The only thing
it's like they pulled like 3 different storylines into this final match.
Yeah,
that had nothing to do with it.
The only reason, the one thing I will say with the Hangman part of it, I think maybe what they're going to go with Hangman from now on is he's going to be a hired assassin. So basically, he comes in, because the only thing I could gather from that was that Christian paid him to come down there and be his kind of like bodyguard.
It was like when Miz paid Bobby Lashley to beat the fuck out of Drew McIntyre so Miz could cash in the Money in the Bank on him.
Yeah, something like that. That's kind of what I thought they were doing with Hangman. But then the Jay White thing just completely confused me. But
they have Christian has guys. He's got Nick Wayne, and he's got Kip Sabian
and Kill Switchosaurus.
Who the fuck has Kip Sabian or Nick Wayne ever beat that was of any value? Like,
no, it doesn't matter. He why would he hire a guy when he's got 2 guys that work for him? Why is he hiring another guy that's not part of their group? Right? I'm sure Hangman's father's fine. But if Christian Cage cashes in his title on Moxley, then that ends that story with Moxley taking over the company.
But maybe that doesn't need
idea after all.
Maybe that doesn't need the belt. You still can do the conglomeration and Darby, the AEW originals.
What's he holding for ransom then? If not the title.
I don't know. He just goes.
This story is terrible. Is what I'm getting at. Is this fucking story is terrible, and we don't know where it's going. We don't understand where it's going. This is what 2 or 3 pay-per-views now that there was no finality to this or no.
They didn't break out the plastic bag and try and.
No one died. No one actually died. I think they would have though. I think they would have if they'd have.
You know who died? The crowd died at the very end of this because
they died in the very beginning of this.
Other than that Willow pop, the crowd was dead silent through the whole the whole afterbirth of the paper or the main event. Like they didn't get into anything. When Wheeler Yuta came out, they didn't do anything. When Claudio and Pat came out, they didn't do anything. Like the whole thing, they were silent.
I think when Justin Roberts announced that it was AEW's Full Gear main event, the crowd was cheering because it was almost over, not because it was the main event.
Yeah.
9 matches is way too long. Way too long.
Yeah. And it went till
I'm only saying 9 matches because I don't think anybody was in the arena for the first 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. There were seats everywhere open.
Yeah, a lot of empty seats. So
very disappointed. Normally one thing AEW does well are their pay-per-views, but this one was terrible.
Again, they boosted up. Not even really a boosted up because it wasn't the greatest pay-per-view ever. But this was a Dynamite. They do these same matches on Dynamite.
I give it 2 pizza cutters out of 5, and that was mainly because of the Ospreay Kyle Fletcher match.
All right,
Scotty, that was the match of the night.
How many pizza cutters do you give this conglomeration of?
One pizza cutter right across the top of my forehead. That's as much as I'll give it. And if I may say something, going back to the actual match of Cassidy versus Moxley, if I were a legitimate wrestler and friggin' Pockets puts his hand in his pockets and starts doing those weak little kicks, and like everybody just stands there and takes that kind of stuff. If I were a legitimate wrestler and Pockets did that to me, I would run up and deck him right in his face. Put his nose.
He's quicker than you, Scotty.
Yeah, well, consider. No, he's the sloth wrestler. He moves very slowly. I would have put my fist right through his nose into the back of his head because of how dumb that looks. That to me is still the biggest.
So
I'm just a fan. I don't even know how you feel about it, Jason.
Jason, you got to make this happen. The next Scotty edit for this. You remember how you did the Yam Yam Bigelow thing with his face on Bam Bam's body? You got to do his face on Pockets gear.
Oh God!
With Scotty's face edited onto the T-shirt of Pockets' face.
I sent it to Austin. Austin did the Yam Yam. So
okay.
Yeah. So yeah. No, I think there are a lot of gimmick guys in AEW. There are wrestlers, and
Yes.
a lot of these gimmick guys can wrestle too, but there are guys that are made for gimmicks and made for gimmicks only, right? Orange Cassidy definitely top of the gimmick with the hands in the pockets and the slow kicks and that kind of stuff. I mean, throw a rock in that locker room. Find me a guy that's really not a gimmick. Yeah. These are indie wrestlers on mainstream TV. And the nice thing about indie wrestling, and I don't know if I've said this, I probably
Pockets even said that during his promo that these guys are just a bunch of indie guys that wouldn't be there if not for AEW.
Yeah, he's exactly right. He's including him.
Yeah.
Again, you could turn any of these guys into legitimate wrestlers, and guys evolve from characters, one thing to another. It might start out a gimmick, then it might evolve into a better wrestler. I mean, look at John Cena, right? Look at John Cena.
Yeah,
Thugonomics, like he evolved over the years from the Eminem rapper to one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. Not saying that they couldn't do that with Orange Cassidy, but in 5 years of AEW, there are a lot of guys in this company have never evolved from where they're at now, right? And the thing with independent wrestlers, they stay at a place for a little while, and then their gimmick starts to wear out, and then they move to another place, and they go over here for a while. You can't do that with AEW because you can't get it. Hey, Mr. Puffers, you can't get it off of your TV.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy's on our TV every week. I like Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin is a freak.
Yeah.
But eventually, Darby, you're going to have to evolve. You can't be slamming yourself off of fucking stairs and crotching yourself on railings and falling off of Mount Everest. You have to evolve. You have to be a different wrestler. And I think that is a problem a lot of us have with AEW, that guys that are there are evolving.
Yeah, talk about changing your style and or character. Look at Chris Jericho. That's something he's been very good at over his years.
And we hate him for it.
Not all of it. No, I mean, this learning tree thing's been really bad.
And he's in Nueve right now.
But look at his prior ones, like the thing he did with KO, probably one of his greatest gimmicks ever.
Yes. The Friendship Festival of Friendship or whatever that is. Again, you have to be different. You can't be the same person all the time because, all right, not going to toot my own horn. Look at Jonathan Cross. Does Jonathan Cross wear the same outfits all the time, or does he rotate them?
Rotates them.
Right. You don't see me in the same if I'm working 3 shows in a weekend, you don't see me in the same outfit all weekend.
Yeah.
He's changing. I've gone to the suit jacket, to the fur, to the different styles of sunglasses, to dressing like Gilbert, to dressing in ring gear. Like, it's always evolving. You never know. suspending disbelief is a big thing in wrestling. That's what you want to do. You want to suspend everyone's disbelief because everyone thinks wrestling's fake. Everyone thinks it is what it is. But you want them to say, and I'll take this right from Chucky Manson. You want them to say, "Oh my God, that looked real," right? You want the same thing about characters. You're gonna say, "Oh, what that dude used to be Orange Cassidy, the guy that with the sunglasses, stuck his hands in his pockets all the time. Now he's blah 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 blah. He's doing whatever. He's still Orange Cassidy or OC or whatever you want to call him." That's how they evolve around AEW. They change their name to initials.
Yeah, yeah.
Mox. He's not Moxley anymore. He's just Mox, right? Like, Anyway, evolving is what we want here, and it's you want to make it believable when you put a guy in a world title picture that looks like he should win. There should be at some point in their career, in their match, or in that match for that high profile title that it looks like they're gonna win. And to me, anytime I watch Orange Cassidy or John Moxley's matches, it doesn't look like Orange Cassidy should win.
Yeah.
He might get a flurry, but he shouldn't win. He just shouldn't.
Yeah.
So evolve, be better. Anyway, evolving is what we do here at Hard Way Wrestling. Please make sure you go like, subscribe, ring the bell. Real quick, we have a wrestling fantasy league. Now's the time to jump in. Yes, scan the QR code. Or if you're catching us on anything, you can just go hit the sub button, subscribe button is fine too. But we run a fantasy league here. You could go to Patreon. Patreon is free to join. If you want to join the fantasy league and everything else that we give, it's $5. That's it. $5. You get your fantasy league, your bonus material, which this Thanksgiving, we got a new bonus material dropping. And we'll have some more bonus material. You can go right there on Patreon and look at go to collections and it'll say bonus material. And if you're paid, you can go look at all that stuff. So
every time there's a pay-per-view, we do a preview show. Get on that preview show with us live. Tell us your picks. Tell us we're a bunch of dumbasses and we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, tell him.
Tell Frosty he needs to shut them damn kids up so we can hear all of Scotty's picks and cornetisms.
Yeah, that's a good thing there, Rick. We definitely every pay-per-view we run a pre-show, a prediction show where we give you our thoughts, right or wrong. Most of the time, right.
I'll be honest, like that's one of my favorite things to do on here is the preview shows for pay-per-views. Like, because we normally have a really good turnout for it. We get a lot of interactions with our fans and viewers on those. So
whether we're live or not, you can always say something. If we're wrong, look, 90% of the time Scotty's wrong, unless he's right.
Yeah.
So if you want to tell Scotty he's wrong or why Scotty's wrong or why he hates women's wrestling, it's fine. Tell him, right? We're good with that. Tell us. Anyway, we run a fantasy league here. You can access it through our Patreon. $5 a month includes everything else that we give you on Patreon. Last night's points, 45 points were available. Full Gear points as of now. Myself with 40, Jesse with 40 last night. Randy, 39. Hell of a showing by Randy. Ricky, 34. Scotty, 34. Really? Yeah. Micah, 34. And that's why I asked you if you added your points up. Micah, 34. And Rob, who absolutely is the Damian Rutherford of the league this year with 29 points. He did fill out his card.
I must have missed a lot. I missed 4 matches. I think they must have all been very low scores.
Very low scores. Yeah. Oh, did you think you had less points?
I thought I barely made 30, to be honest. I know I had the top 3 scores. I hit them, but the other ones I couldn't remember. So I thought 30 was going to be a push for me.
Yeah. I'll go back. I always go back and recount them 2 or 3 times just to make sure I'm right. Actually, the match that I thought everybody got, I gave everybody points and had to go back in and redo it. It was the Takeshita match. Nope. It was a match that we all got wrong.
Jay White and Hangman, maybe?
That's what it was. I think we all thought Hangman was going to win. Not most of us thought
Hangman. Jay White had won all of them. I thought for sure Hangman was going to get this one.
Right. So I think I went with Hangman too. That was one that got everybody. So, but that is the updated points from Full Gear last night. Again, you can catch all this on our Patreon. The new points will drop on Patreon for our paid members at actually 6 minutes ago. So good timing. And our points updated as of last night or as of today. Myself with 61, Randy with 54, Ricky with 50, Jesse with 49, Micah with 49. Scott dropped a little bit with 45.
But he's got Scotty in the bank
with 43. He still has Scotty in the bank. That's one thing we do every 2 months. We have a new Money in the Bank.
I have a brief.
What's that?
I don't have a briefcase to hold up.
You don't have a briefcase to hold up.
It's a brown bag with a
just
sandwich.
it's the Scotty in the paper bag. Scotty in the Target bag. We're gonna just,
there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, all these this is our updated points. Winner of this league wins $25.
Woohoo!
Which honestly, it's 5 months of Hardway Wrestling. If you want to keep subscribing to Hardway Wrestling, so if you win this thing twice, you damn near paid the whole year off. So anyway, that's our updated points. Right now, I am the current champion. Scotty has the Scotty in the bank at any point before the show. Scotty has to say, I'm cashing in my title. He has to fire off a video. He's cashing in his title. And then if he beats me or whoever the leader is in points that night, he becomes the Hardway champion. So
I'm going to do a Miz. I'm going to go contact my lawyer, Stephen P. New, and set up a court case to acquire that Scotty in the bank contract.
Now, did you lose the Scotty in the bank because of that match that got thrown out, or was that?
No. I'm just joking. I'm
serious because remember I lost a championship 8 months ago because of that Masha Slamovich Killer Kelly tag team match, and I'm still bitter.
Yeah, the 7 points I could really use now because I'd only be, I think, 4 behind the lead. But
well, we still have a few pay-per-views to go. We have next week, by the way,
Survivor Series,
which is going to be a huge one. And we do have SmackDown to talk about, boys. Not all SmackDown, but just the end of SmackDown. We'll cover that. Another time. But I was completely wrong about Seth Rollins, and we're going to go over that. Yeah.
I'm shocked too because I honestly thought it was going to be Seth and Brody. Not
Brody would be good too.
What's his name?
Any of the Brodies.
Why can't I think of his name?
You talking about the guy that's
Bronson Reed.
Bronson.
Yeah, you talking about okay. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
Seth, I thought it was gonna be Seth and Bronson, but then boom, they swerved us. So.
We will be back. We'll be back on Tuesday to talk about that and everything else that's going on in the wrestling world. But anyway, join that Patreon. Hit that subscribe button on that YouTube. Go like us on Facebook. And we'll see you guys next time.
On the hard way.
Dwarf Dong Sucker.